This week on the podcast, we've got Mauro Porcini. Welcome to the Workspace of Tomorrow podcast, brought to you by Room, the New York City startup rethinking the modern workspace, in partnership with The Slowdown. I'm your host, Spencer Bailey. Here, I speak with creative leaders who have had a front row seat to observe the transformational shifts in how we're all working today, and have deep insight into where things are headed. This week on the podcast, we've got Mauro Porcini, the Italian-born Chief Design Officer of PepsiCo. The first person to ever hold the role at the company, he's been in the position since 2012. Prior to this, he was Chief Design Officer of 3M. On the episode, we spoke about design thinking, which Mauro defines specifically and without any ambiguity, focusing on three pillars: empathy, strategy, and prototyping. For those listeners out there skeptical of design thinking, like I am, he makes a convincing case for it, and on his own terms. Mauro also talks about how to proactively shift company culture, something he has broken down into a 5-phase process. First is what he refers to as denial. Then there's hidden rejection. Next, the occasional leap of faith, followed by the quest for confidence, and finally, holistic awareness. If this sounds heady, that's because it is. But he explains it clearly. In truth, it's an approach we can all apply to many facets of our lives. Let's jump into it. Here's my conversation with Mauro Porcini. Today on the podcast, we've got Mauro Porcini from PepsiCo. Welcome, Mauro.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you.
I wanted to start today's conversation on the subject of design thinking. You're somebody who actually has brought it to bear in a real, tangible way, and I think the phrase design thinking has become muddled, let's say. What is design thinking to you?
Well, design thinking is a word or two words that have been used and abused by our community and the business community in general. There are usually